With the suspension of the NBA season earlier in the month of March, fans have been left with an insatiable thirst for information on when we will be able to watch our favorite sports again. The NBA suspended its season on March 11th with only a handful of games left in the regular season, making everyone wonder when the season will resume, if it even resumes. Recently, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, I can't pronounce your last name, bro. Woj and Zach Lowe released an article detailing where the NBA recently stands on a potential resumption of the 2019-2020 season. In the past couple of months, the league office has held conference calls with players to discuss protocol on conducting individual workouts. Practice facilities have been reopened for use on limited basis, and discussions on potential sites where the season would resume have occurred. Woj and Lowe reported in their article that the league office is expected to provide guidelines to teams on June 1st, which will allow teams to recall their players that are currently not in their markets. This appears to be the league's first step at resuming the season, and teams are also expecting to receive guidance on when they can expand individual practices and open them up to more personnel and players. Per sources, Woj and Lowe reported that the discussions regarding the resumption of the season are currently detailed as such. 1. Recalling of players and having them quarantined for a period of 2 weeks. 2. Individual workouts at team facilities for 1 to 2 weeks. 3. Formal training camp for 2 to 3 weeks. So even though it's expected that players will begin to be recalled to their markets starting June 1st, fans should not expect the season to begin immediately after. Given this timeline, the NBA would probably resume sometime by the end of July or early August, as there's a potential 7-week time frame starting from June 1st when the league office issues the guidance. There are also expectations from the owners, the NBPA, that we may see NBA action sometime mid to late July. So we're in the same ballpark here given this time frame. So the league is also in discussion with the NBPA on how the return of the season will be structured, how the playoffs will work, and if all 30 teams will be making a return. In the article, Woj and Lowe also report that the league is looking at potential two-site structure to resume the NBA. Like I mentioned previously, there have been discussions on where the NBA should resume their season, and Orlando, Vegas, and even Houston have been tossed around as potential sites for the resumption of the NBA. At this time though, it seems that Orlando, which has Disney World, which houses ESPN's sports complex, is the current frontrunner at being selected as a site to resume the season. With all these discussions starting to gain traction, one can't help but to start feeling very optimistic on the return of the NBA for this season. To add fuel to the fire of hype, ESPN's Ramona Shelburne released this tweet saying that the NBA has started conversations with Disney Company about restarting the season in the sports complex that they have. Shelburne also shared the original quote from the NBA spokesman Mike Bass, and when reading this, what stands out to me is when I see that he mentioned single site and that this site would be an NBA campus for games and practices and housing. With this, it seems to me that the two-site plan that was originally being tossed around may have changed, and now the league wants to pursue the restart of the season only at this quote-unquote bubble site at Disney World, where games, practices, and housing would be hosted there. So depending on how the league structures the rest of the season and the playoffs, this could turn out to be one of the most exciting postseasons that we have ever seen. Just think about it. Players would play and be housed in the same location, so this would help eliminate distraction caused by travel, and since I'm assuming that they would have to stay at the bubble site to remain quarantined, that would also eliminate some of the other more enticing distractions. So pair this with the fact that players should have gotten some rest from the suspension of the season back in March. We are fixing to see players that are both rested and focused, so this could turn out to be real good for the fans. At this point, all we can do is wait for June 1st to see what happens. However, everything seems to be pointing in the right direction when it comes to watching basketball once more this season. If you're excited to see the NBA once more, let me know in the comments. Which team do you stand behind and who do you think should win the championship this year? Let me know. Now, if you ask me, I'm going to have to go with the hometown team, baby. Houston Rockets. I've seen some tweets earlier this week, and Westbrook over there, I've seen some workouts that he's been doing, and they're real good workouts, it seems. And Harden, so that man's gone into the mountains over in Arizona to go train like he's trying to go Super Saiyan or something. So it's going to be exciting to watch basketball again, to say the least. So anyways, you know how this goes. If you like the video, hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. Also, don't forget to go ahead and dunk the bell like you already do on your mini basketball hoop in your garage. I'll be keeping up with the news regarding the resumption of the NBA and will be sharing it as soon as I can. So if you're interested in this and any other sports news, be sure to stay tuned to the brief.